Yeah, I'm in my favourite Lugan cafe here in Mall of Asia. It's Taiwanese.
Customer copy.
Sorry, ma'am?
Customer copy. Mr. Sapul.
Ah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. And regular guy. So this is not a diss or a put down of anybody involved in the current conversation. It's just a reflection on what I know and what I've seen. So I know regular guy, not well. I've met him, came across him in Robinson's in Dumaguete a couple of times. Very pleasant guy, very personable on a one-to-one. He met the wife as well. Very cool guy. That's not the reason I don't want to diss him. What I want to talk about is sharks and snakes. Wherever you go, there's snakes. So let's look at a bit of background. So regular guy, if you listen to, there's a famous online troll connected with the Philippines, American guy. He says that, and I can't substantiate this, never looked it up, can't be bothered. He says a regular guy's been here 30 years, on and off. I mean, that's a long time. If it's true, I would have thought 20 years, but 30 years, okay. How old's regular guy? Is in his 50s, mid-50s? May have come here in his 20s, might have come here in his 30s. I don't know. That particular troll I take with a pinch of salt. Quite enjoy watching him. He's quite amusing. He's copying another troll that he knew in the States. But it's fun. And as I said before in another vlog, he's like a stopwatch. He's right probably twice a day. So I watch him. He's fun. So regular guy, he if he's been here a long time, he's probably a product, but he's someone who came in a different sort of era. He came in an era when there wasn't the social media, the proliferation of social media that you have now. I mean, literally everywhere, which has enlightened and informed, for better or for worse, everybody in the world, including Filipinos. Young Filipinos now are much more savvy. And the average foreigner, I would say, should take a bit more care these days. And in terms of, regular guy being a sort of a legacy vlogger, I think that's true. And in some ways he's stuck to his shtick, his niche, and his niche is guys probably somewhere between 30 and 55 or 60 even, probably not particularly content with their lives in the West, like the idea of being free and easy and single and riding around the Philippines on a sort of a jacked up moped or motorbike and living, tripping the light fantastic, living the life. Sense of freedom, which is what I think a lot of us here who've come from the West really appreciate here. There's a sense of freedom. That's not to mean that you are to be irresponsible. And the social responsibilities have, in a way, closed in on everyone because of social media, because of cultural shifts and changes that come down, where the politics has come downwind of cultural change. What I'm trying to say is the world that regular guy inhabits, even though he's quite young looking, when you meet him face to face, he's got quite a fresh look. I'm quite jealous really because he's born, he's quite a good looking guy. I wasn't born on the Brad Pitt side of the world, I was born on the other side. So I struggle to even get myself looking halfway decent. But so when you meet him, he's very personal, comes across nice, but is he a product of a time gone by? Even though he's one of what you might consider the younger vloggers, foreign bloggers in the Philippines, do we consider him a little bit out of time in terms of his perceived cultural attitudes. Possibly. I'm not here to moralise. But just thinking about, the people now who are openly dissing him. So I've never seen that Belgian guy, Belgian Waffle or Belgian Nova, whatever his name is. Never seen him before. Watched him for the first time last night. Unusual, different. Seems to believe that he's fighting some sort of moralistic crusade in his own mind, or maybe that's his niche, that's what he's trying to do. Whether that guy is right or wrong, whether what he says about, although he says he's got documented evidence, whatever he says about regular guy, is it his business? He's a foreigner in a foreign land, dissing another foreigner based on his opinion and information he's gathered. Is that where I ever want to be? Don't think so. And there's another guy in Chagall who's long established, who apparently at the moment he seems to be quite discreet about it. But I believe he's also someone that may have been pushing for either the removal or the admonishment of regular guy. Is this what I want to get into? Is this why I came here? To get immersed in all these sort of activities? I don't think so. Nothing at all. I mean, the FBI and the PMP and the British police are pretty hot on coordination and searching for the real bad guys. The bad guys who come from Australia, the UK, and the States. The real bad guys, the predators. And also the desperate and malign mothers or women who coordinate what they get up to. And the police are all over that. So in terms of sort of heavy, genuine abuse, I believe, we should all call it out. And I was pretty impressed by some of the activities of the PMP in coordination with the FBI, etc. I've seen on various news articles and blogs. They're doing the real work, But it just reminds us, doesn't it? So when I was working abroad, I went back to the UK for about 4 years. It was okay, I was in a company. But the one thing that occurred to me, it doesn't matter how old you are, how confident or incompetent you might be at your job, there are snakes. And they're your own people, they look like you, they talk like you, but they're snakes. And they're either running in the senior manager's office, telling tales, or they're whinging, or they're, doing this and that and the other to try and undermine others. Or they're super friendly and good fun to your face, and then the minute your back is turned, in goes the knife. So there's snakes everywhere. And that's no exception here in the Philippines. Amazingly, you cannot escape it here. So regular guys come here, possibly he's made mistakes, allegedly, whatever. Like I said, I'm not here to moralise. Maybe he hasn't. But there are people who've got it in their crawl to go after him. Is that their duty? Is it their job? Are they focused on the real villain here? If they want to do this sort of moralising and this crusading? I'm not sure. He didn't seem like a Dick Dastardly figure to me when I met him. I think, his shtick, like I said, he's... no thanks, ma'am. No, that's fine. Just the recibo, cuando puede, when you can. Thank you. Mixture of my bloody Spanish and Tagalog. They just look at you like you're an idiot, which I am. So there's snakes everywhere, and they follow you all over the world. I had a friend who was a pilot in the Middle East. He's a British guy, and he'd been living abroad a long time, and he was coming up to retirement. Him and his missus decided, okay, we'll go back. We'll buy a new build in the UK on this nice estate, nice sort of 4 or 5 bedroom place. It wasn't cheap. It was hundreds of thousands of pounds, and he moved in. And then the guy opposite came over to say hello. said, oh, hello, I'm so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. Did you know one of your rear lights is out on your car? Said this to John. He said, oh, thanks very much. I'll get that looked at, I'll get it fixed. And the guy said, you better, because I'm a policeman, and if you don't get it fixed, I will nick you, I will prosecute you. That's the neighbour who, for the first interaction he had. So that just soured the scene for him. So he, instead of a friendly warning, he said, oh, actually I've got a spare bulb in my garage, do you want me to bring it for you? None of that, Just some people just love the authority. Some people love to feel superior on others. Some people are snakes. They're everywhere. So long and short of that was, he fucked off to South Africa with his missus. Lived in a beautiful part of South Africa. Can't remember where. Probably Darwin or somewhere. And never came back to the UK. Probably lost a few grand on the house. But it just soured the whole thing for him. So these people are everywhere. They're in the Philippines watching other people's business. They're in your own country watching your own business. And they're not content with their own lives. I don't know if they're unhappy with themselves. So they want to just get involved in sort of malign activity to disrupt the lives of others. Again, I'm not saying that regular guy is right or wrong. I'm just pointing out from another perspective, from another angle, because everybody else has given their 5 eggs, so I'm bloody well putting mine in. There are these people around. You'll never escape them. They're in every society. If you could speak Tagalog or Bisaya properly, you'll hear them in that language as well. They're everywhere. There's no exceptions. Voila, I've made the switch to the French baker now. And near the entrance of the Pacific Drive, entrance of Mall of Asia. Isa carrot cake.
1 carrot.
At Isa flat white coffee. I think just to recap, regular guy, he exists sort of on the edge with what he does. Now, they talk about things that happened in his past, things in Ormoc and other places like that. Maybe could be a decade or two ago, I don't know. The fact is that he's in Dumaguete, he had a girl there, that all broke up. Some people laugh at the fact that he's lamenting, the girl that he was really keen on splitting with him. They think that's a source of fun, and to mock him, I'm not interested in that. But what I will say is that he's existed. His shtick, his style is he exists sort of on the edge. So it's all about the baby-roonies. It's all about the girls. Even now, he still feels he's got the mojo. People who watch him like that. That's his thing. Has never really explored another niche, another way out. I'm continually thinking, how can I get viewers? How can I find a proper niche? I'm never satisfied with the way things are. I'm always looking, where is that place? Where is my place in the vlogosphere? Probably in the toilet, but if it's not in the toilet, scrambling around somewhere else. But, so I'm always looking, where's that niche? That's his niche. He hasn't really moved on from it, and that might, in a way, be a little bit of his, I'm not going to say downfall. I think that's a little bit of his predicament. Is that, he's not moved to maybe another niche that perhaps he should have moved to. He's stuck with it. I'm not saying that's lazy. I'm saying that when you've got several tens of thousands of followers, you're not going to chuck that away, are you? If that's your source of income. Me personally, I think probably some of my lack of motivation and my laziness, I know I'm lazy, is because I don't have to do this. I do it just to stifle boredom and to learn a bit about, working with cameras and talking to a camera, because I'm fundamentally quite shy and nervous, always have been. So, I do it to challenge myself, but I don't do it because of any financial gain or need at all. And if it stopped tomorrow, it wouldn't matter. I'd just have to find something else. Probably go back to music production or something like that, just to fill my time.